Here I go. All right. What I did to lose a pound to lose 3 pounds in a week. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but yeah, here we go. Here they go. Thursday, I was 210 and a half. Friday, Saturday, I was 210.3, which is amazing because I did a lot of eating in there and I dropped pounds. So here I am, Friday, which is today, 207.3. 207.3. So I lost 3 pounds in a week. And if you ask me, were you happy, Pappy, for the whole week? I'd say no. There were some very miserable times in there. But I didn't stay miserable. I moved along. I did something new. So let's just go through this. I'm going to go through this rather quickly. First thing is I started on a sugar diet. There's two things. There's a sugar fast and a sugar diet. A sugar fast means you eat nothing but sugar for a certain period of time. So if you get up in the morning and you start in with an orange, an apple, and some grapes. Those are all sugary foods. They don't have to be table sugar. Or you just put a whole lot of sugar in your coffee. Honey, anything type of sugar that you like, eat it. All right. I tend to eat gummy bears, Laffy Taffies. I like candy. Like that song goes. I like candy. But I stayed away from chocolate. I stayed away from fatty candies. I got those types of candies. I ate that was a big part. That was a big part of it. The other thing I did, instead of having my 200 grams of protein today, my 200 grams of protein, which what I do is if it's a steak, and it's like a 4-ounce steak, there's going to be 100 grams of protein in just that, or close to it. If it's a decent sized steak, pork has got a little less protein. The higher the grade of the hamburger, obviously a 95.5 hamburger's got more protein than a 75.5. But a 75.5, you really don't know what you're going to get because a lot of the fat's going to run out. So yeah, there you go. Egg, I like the Incredible Edible egg. There's about 6 grams of protein in an egg. And that being said, there's about 6 grams of fat. So there's a lot more fat in an egg than there is protein. But it's very, very soluble. Your body uses it. It's the number one. A whole egg is the best source of protein as far as your body using it. Okay, that's enough of that. So what I did is I shot for only about 100 grams a day, and I did a pretty good job hitting that. That's all I had was 100. So only about of the whole diet of around 2,000 calories, give or take, because I didn't really change the calories. I wasn't brave enough just to eat candy just all day and not stop, because the claims were made that candy would make me burn more. Sugar fasting would make my metabolism go up. So you eat the sugar, your body puts out this hormone FG1, F1G1 or whatever it is, and your metabolism will go huge, and you'll burn all these calories. I really still skeptical about that, so I didn't do it. The thing that I did watch was I looked at how much of my calories were coming from protein, because before, if you're at 200 grams, that's 800 calories of protein a day, and you're about 2,000, you're around 40% of your calories are coming from protein. So as what I've learned, when I listened to Raymond Pete and some other smart people, the late genius, which I've talked about on other things, then your protein is going to start being used as an energy short. Your body's going to break down that protein, use it. So in other words, it's going to be like eating sugar. I know this is true. When I eat a whole lot of protein, I'll feel the same way I do when I eat a whole lot of sugar. I'll get tired. I'll feel it because my body's using this sugar. So I cut that back. All right. Now, this was my main source of protein, muscle milk. In this jar, which I got in this, is that a jar? Whatever the container, this container, I'm going to say it's a jar. So in this jar of protein, which is the vanilla cream, which is it's decent enough by itself. Like you can drink it with straight water. I had to kind of get used to it, but it's not bad. So that if I drank 13 of these, this thing would be gone, as my buddy would say, allegedly. And of that, 32 grams of protein. So that's of the calories there, then that's 120 plus 8. That's 128 calories just in protein in there. So almost 100 grams, almost 100 calories in carbohydrates. That's 88 because there's 22. And then you've got 8 grams of fat. So this is, of all the protein powders you'll get, this one's has a lot of fat. And I did the numbers on this. You're paying less than 4 cents for a gram of protein. Where with a steak, you might spend 12, 15 cents for a gram. Of course, steak is really tasty. Really tasty. So I would crank down 3 or 4 of these a day. And I would drink them with soda pop, pretty much. The Coke float was, I got some Coke here that has the cane sugar in it. I used to drink them out in California, and we would call them Mexican Cokes because they came from Mexico. They had cane sugar. I was disappointed. I was looking for a Coke float kind of flavor, and it wasn't very good. The Dreamsicle that was which was the orange fats, it tasted really good. Skim milk, it's not bad. Because I've been going with the theory that if your body doesn't have any fat, it's going to burn it. Because I have been a keto guy for 15 years. So if I'm not eating much fat, my body's going to look for fat to burn, and it looks like that worked. So anyway, so I kept my calories around 2,000. I kept my protein about 100, and I ate a lot of sugar. So what is that? That's like 1,500. That's like 150 grams of sugar. Is that right? No, it's not right. That's even more than that. So if you're saying 1,000 calories of 1,000 calories of sugar, 1,000 calories of sugar, give or take, is 250 grams. So I was around 250, 300 grams of sugar a day. That turns out to be a typo. I might put a note in there, but whatever. So, and I lost 10 pounds on that, where if I was just eating my regular way of eating, where I ate a keto diet, where I had a lot of meat, some fat, and a little bit of carbohydrates, hardly any candy, hardly anything enjoyable, my weight didn't go anywhere. So this definitely worked, and I'm going to continue to do this. Whether it'll work for you, I don't know what you're doing going into this. So anyway, that's my experience as a almost 65-year-old man, and it was great. Okay.